Last time, on Bittersweet Gamers, the Somnium Files.
Howdy, howdy, everyone! We're here in Date's car. He's racing to find Renju Okiura. Will his tireless pursuit exhaust him?
Or will the airbag be accidentally triggered and punch him in the face? Goodness! You certainly managed to improve over your miserable car pun last time.
It's important to have the right drive.
You are still being defeated by Date Kaname.
Speaking of being defeated by Kaname Date, we're the Bittersweet Gamers.
Well, I'm not fighting him, so I'm not being defeated by him. I am the opinionator, though.
And I'm We Squared. The glove box.
All right, everybody always has something to say about the glove box. So far, everyone has accused Date of hiding something in there.
So what's she gonna do? You disappoint me, Mizuki. Mizuki is sitting in the passenger seat. She's trying to act tough, but I can tell she's nervous.
I mean, we're basically chasing after her dad, who we have to question to see if he killed her mom. This can't be good for her.
You look like you want to say something.
I don't want to say anything. I don't want to talk to you.
You look like your eyes are gray. My eyes aren't gray. You look like you're wearing yellow. I'm not wearing yellow.
I don't want to talk to anyone who thinks my daddy is a killer.
I'm doing this to try and prove he isn't. Come on!
That's how it works. He is a suspect. He has to be a suspect even if he's nowhere near any of this. The fact that he may have been near to it makes him even more of a suspect. If you really don't believe he did it, then try and get him off and clear that suspicion and doubt so we can put that one to bed and move on.
But you gotta work with me here!
Because the more it looks like you're hiding something,
the more suspicious he is.
Exactly, and that means you're making us think he's the killer. I don't believe he is because I believe in plot twists.
Look, I don't want to believe it either. I've known him for more than 5 years now. He's like family to me.
I'd never want to put cuffs on him. I would never want Mizuki to see that. Anyway, Renju just isn't the kind of guy who would commit a crime like this. So about the suspicious figure that I keep asking everyone about all the time ever.
Hey Mizuki, tell me again.
I'm not going to tell you again. I didn't see a suspicious figure.
That person you saw at the merry-go-round.
I didn't see anyone at the merry-go-round.
No, it wasn't Daddy. I know it wasn't.
You're sure?
Well, I don't know.
Very good.
At least she's being honest. So about the Nile message, come on, you gotta give me something.
Mizuki, Renju sent you that Nile message, didn't he?
Didn't he?
What?
Yeah, we already figured it out last episode.
We're not dumb.
I got this buddy of mine. Real bad personality, but real good with technology. I got some help from them.
Bad personality?
It was a message sent at 8:05 last night. Does this sound familiar?
See, the thing is he's sort of saying that he's already tracked it, even though he hasn't yet.
Mizuki, Daddy got caught up in something serious. Please come to Bloom Park's merry-go-round right away. Daddy needs your help. Please do as I say.
Yeah, that was it.
There you go.
It was from Daddy's phone. But I didn't want to say anything because that would make Daddy a suspect,
Hey,
so...
we've already been through this.
So you kept quiet.
Besides, he was already a suspect.
Yeah, he was gonna be a suspect regardless.
Okay, the spouse or ex-spouse.
It's always the first person you suspect in a murder.
The reason being that it's usually them, so you kind of have to make sure to eliminate that first.
And even if it's not them, they're gonna know the most pertinent information to it, if it's some sort of personal grudge or vendetta.
Yeah. My dad's never said anything like that to me, ever. That he was counting on me.
What a jerk.
Jeez.
I had to go.
My bad daddy issues have been triggered now.
Every game.
Every game!
But you invited Ota along.
Bloom Park is in the middle of the Kawasaki district. There are a number of homeless individuals in a high crime rate there.
She needed a big, strong man like Ota Matsushita to protect her with his physical prowess. That's why the moment they found the body, he turned and ran away.
Yeah, it seems legit.
Mizuki must have been worried about going alone.
Anything else about the Nile message?
But it couldn't be him.
Sounds like someone's in denial.
Why not?
Daddy couldn't have sent the message.
That's possible, yeah.
Just like someone could have stolen his car, someone could have jacked his phone.
Someone else must have used his phone.
It's possible, yeah.
Especially since it isn't something he normally says to her.
We do have to deal with that.
And his car. Daddy wasn't driving the car either. Somebody else did it.
Well, let's try and prove this, or at least get the preponderance of the evidence to prove it.
The killer did it, not Daddy.
The only evidence we have so far leads to one conclusion.
So far.
It doesn't mean that it's correct. Well, I guess I shouldn't be one to talk about Occam's razor, since I always make everything more complicated, so I'll stop now.
The cell phone and the car were both operated by Renju Okiura.
So when was the last time you saw your dad?
I think about a week ago,
Oh my god, he doesn't even visit her!
when I went to hang out at Lemniscape.
Did you notice anything different about him?
Nothing really. He was the same as usual.
And he didn't come to see you in the hospital, did he?
No.
Of course not.
Not even for his own daughter.
That is very unusual.
Why am I drinking buddies with him again?
So this is unusual, is it? Care to
All
fill
we
us
have to
in?
go off of is what they're saying.
Care to fill us in on why it's unusual?
Go on.
I don't remember. It was a while ago. What about you?
When's the last time I talked to my dad? A couple decades ago, maybe?
Gee, I guess it's been about 2.5 weeks for me. And it's weird that it was that long.
What about me?
You try calling him.
I did. I called earlier, and I tried a few times last night.
And he didn't pick up?
If he did, we wouldn't be looking for him.
No.
Yeah, I'm really worried that we're gonna finally find the guy and he's gonna be dead.
Date, incoming call from the boss.
Connected.
Hey, I just got the report from Iba. Renju is a suspect?
He has to be!
You knew that?
He's definitely suspicious.
You're probably more of a cop than Date is. You would know, right?
I agree. I think he's our #1 suspect.
Okay, thank you.
He's been acting strange since last night. He didn't come see Mizuki in the hospital, won't pick up his phone, and he vanishes after questioning.
By the way, he was the one who sent the Nile message just like everybody thought.
Well, I assume that's what she meant by Iba's report.
He doesn't have an alibi for the time of the murder either.
Meeny, 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 meeny.
He doesn't?
No, not one we can corroborate.
I can see boss through my left eye. Iba's streaming the image in real time.
That's so weird.
I don't have a cell phone. Never cared for him. But Iba can connect to any network in range.
So okay, dude, this is just having it both ways.
That's how I'm able to communicate with HQ. Mizuki, I look like I'm talking to a Bluetooth. She doesn't see what I see. So what about Renju's questioning?
He didn't give us any new information. He didn't have much to say at all, really.
Okay.
Did he say nothing?
Well, what about his alibi?
Shoko's time of death was estimated to be about 5 p.m. yesterday. Renju claims that he was at home alone at the time. But that means no one can back up his story.
Why did you release him if he was a suspect?
So Renju was questioned at a local station?
They can't detain him for very long.
I guess it has been some time, hasn't it?
You can't just arrest people willy-nilly.
Yeah, you're right. I had forgotten how much time had actually passed.
That's right.
Then why didn't you keep him there?
Protocol. Nothing we could do. He wasn't a suspect then, and we had nothing to charge him with. We couldn't hold him.
Any idea where he is?
No, I told you he vanished. Where are you headed?
I'm just kind of driving until the plot kicks in.
Renju's house.
Don't bother. I had local cops search the place. They didn't find anything.
But do they have a special cybernetic eye?
Where could he be?
Well, not only that, do they have his daughter?
Good point.
Then again, maybe that wouldn't actually be helpful here.
Alright, I'm going to say hang up the phone.
You're so weird.
All right, boss. Let me know if you find something.
You too. Keep me in the loop.
Where the hell did Renju go?
Man, by the time this game really picks up, we'll have been completely dragged into every aspect of its pace.
I love it!
Yeah, it's like everything is moving just as fast as it needs to move.
And there's always some new intrigue that comes up.
Sun poke?
Beg your pardon?
I'm sorry?
What?
Sun poke. Or something.
Oh, Sunfish Pocket.
Ah, okay. Like, it would make perfect sense in Japanese. Like, in Japanese, the way you shorten things, like, McDonald's would be Makuto. Stuff like that, where you just do, like, the first syllable of each word and just ram them together, or something kind of close to that, so, Sampoku.
Okay.
Renju was telling me about that place. It's a maid cafe that he runs.
Yeah, I think he said, or I think there was something like that in his log.
And he runs Lemniscape. Okay.
I found it. Approximately 6.2 miles north-northeast, in Akihabara.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Hey, 0!
Can't be.
Sure enough, Mizuki's life just sucks.
Jeez.
Strung up, huh? No visible wounds that I see, so he was hanged. And of course, the eye was taken before death.
Renju!
He's like a fish on a hook.
Yeah. Okay, right? He had to have been strangled?
There was a mark around his neck, yes.
Because if there was a thing with the hook, there'd be blood everywhere.
Yeah, there'd be blood everywhere.
Shokubai.
Day 3, Sunday.
You look awful. Have you been sleeping any?
I just gotta get this out of my system. Did I not say?
Yeah, of course.
We were going to find Renju dead and his eye missing?
We've been on top of everything so far.
My best friend was murdered, boss. I don't have it in me to sleep right now.
Well, you're gonna have to sleep eventually, man.
Peter's looking suspiciously serious.
If anyone can look serious wearing the getup that he's wearing, I'm impressed.
You seem troubled, Peter.
2 murders, one right after the other.
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly connected, duh.
How could I not be?
And it's not a copycat case. Well,
we really don't know any details about the first one. Why are you here, anyway?
Am I not allowed to be here?
No, go away!
No, I didn't mean it like that.
go back in the basement!
The deeper basement, because we're already in the basement.
I was here first. I was just talking to the boss about Renju's murder.
Well, who do you think did it?
Renju had his left eyeball removed.
Right. Shoko, too.
I suppose the person we really need to be thinking about is not Francis York Morgan, Iris's father.
Yeah.
The only reason I say that is he is someone that we have seen in Date's Somnium inflicting violence. Now, there were no eyes removed, it's true. I'm just saying we need to be thinking about it, right? Because that's what the game has given us so far.
It can't be unrelated.
I wonder if it's ASAP.
I hope not.
So perhaps, Mr. Date, you are the killer.
You already made that joke.
You're missing your left eye, so you steal them from others.
Hey, yeah, that's sort of along the lines that we were thinking of.
I'm kidding. Only a joke.
You make that joke like 3 times a day.
Well, it's the only joke I have.
I'm too tired for your jokes right now, Peter.
Actually, you lost your eye 6 years ago, correct?
Yes?
Yes, but I don't remember anything from back then.
And now Boss is gonna shut him up.
I saw Boss look at us when he said
I
that.
lost my eye and my memories.
I was transplanted into your empty eye socket a year later. We have been together for more than 5 years.
So, I don't know. Right now, I'm gonna need to see some proof that it's not Iris.
Really?
I'll be fine if it isn't.
What reason would she have?
Because Set killed his brother Osiris and disassembled him into various parts.
Huh. Alright, I think that's fair. In these kinds of games, you gotta really suspect everyone anyway.
And Horus is the eye, and Ra is the eye, and what about Atum? And the only person to start talking about things in this manner is also the person who bears the name of Set.
No, that makes perfect sense, yes.
So I'm gonna suspect her until there's some reason to not.
Boss is sitting on her desk. She never sits at her desk, only on her desk.
Seems good to me. What a great view, too.
She looks tired. Like me. How about you? Are you getting any sleep?
No.
Of course not.
Well, she's running this clown show.
I still got a mountain of work piled up, answering to the higher-ups, the press. I'm just taking a little breather.
What happened to Mizuki? Is she okay?
She's sleeping at the hospital. They're going to give her counseling after she wakes up.
Good God. After the thing with her mother, now this?
Poor thing. I mean, this is just wrecked her.
I see.
Her mother and her father. I hope she'll be okay.
So about Renju.
You were the first on the scene, so you know this better than anyone, but Renju was murdered. No way this was a suicide. And the fact that his left eye was removed tells me that this was the same killer as Shoko.
And until you tell us about 6 years ago...
A serial killer.
The new Cyclops Killer.
What?
That's the nickname that's been spreading around headquarters.
The
New.
6 years ago, etc., etc. Perhaps Date wasn't killed if he wasn't the old Cyclops Killer.
Yes, several years ago.
Cuter.
And she shuts him up.
There is no point in hiding it from him. He would find out on his own eventually. It's all over the news. These murders have gone viral, so to speak.
Okay, see, I was wondering about that earlier.
The press presence?
Yeah. But we understand it now.
The killings from 6 years ago have continued. The Cyclops Killer is back.
6 years ago.
Oh, that was it. It was about the copycat killings. So I guess it could be a copycat killer now that we have more of the context.
Yeah.
Is that what you were talking about, boss?
Fine. I suppose you deserve to know.
So do you suppose Date was a victim?
Probably. I bet due to strange circumstance he survived. So, about the incident 6 years ago.
Finally!
We have a name for it down at HQ. The original Cyclops serial killings.
The original? Were you expecting there were going to be more of them?
Well, maybe that's the name for it now.
To distinguish it from this new one.
Yeah, see?
Okay.
It was 6 years ago in October.
All 4 were women.
I'm trying to see if any of them look like a My Little Pony character.
Okay, that's...
4 bodies were found in the mountains of Akikawa Valley.
But the decomposition of the corpses were all at different stages. They were each killed sometime during May to September of that year.
Okay, so that's actually not really similar to what's going on right now, except for the eyes.
Yeah.
But they did have 2 things in common. They were all young women.
And they all were missing their left eye?
And
Each corpse was missing their right eyeball, pulled out posthumously.
Their right eyeball. Not the left. Pulled out posthumously.
After the fact, as opposed to before they die, which is what seems to be the case here.
So then what does Date have to do with the previous one?
Cyclops?
A few days after the corpses were discovered, the killer sent a statement to the press. I killed them, and they are now my dear companions. Something like that.
He signed the statement under the name Cyclops. Hence the name, the Cyclops Killer.
It's not that he killed Cyclopses. That's Jason of Argonaut's fame.
The Cyclops is a mythological race of one-eyed giants.
Actually, wasn't it Orpheus who killed Cyclops?
No, Orpheus is the one who went into the underworld.
Oh, no. I'm sorry. Odysseus.
Ah, maybe you're right.
I think it was Odysseus.
Yeah, you're right. It was Odysseus.
According to Greek myth, they are the children of Uranus, god of the sky, and Gaia, goddess of earth. Cyclopes were known for their outstanding strength and smithing ability.
So the letter to the press wasn't a fake? It was the real killer?
Yes, it had to be.
A picture of one of the victims right after she was killed was sent along with the letter.
That would be pretty definitive proof. Was this Cyclops captured?
Was it you? Date, I mean, not boss.
No, in 6 years we never got a single trace.
Okay, cool. So what is Date's connection if it's something that you've been trying to keep from him?
Right? There's gotta be something.
So maybe Cyclops is responsible for these murders as well.
I doubt that. I don't think that they're not related. I mean, this is based on no evidence, but everything about them is different. The bodies were not discovered then and have been discovered now. The left eye was removed before
they
death,
died.
and after death, when was the right eye that was removed.
And they're not all women.
They're not all women. And again, I think the body discovery is a big deal. Also, those were killed. They were killed over a period of time because the corpses were in various states of decomposition over several months.
Right.
Whereas this was like within a few days of each other.
Yeah, it can't be the same guy.
No, that's impossible.
Why?
For one, the original Cyclops Killer only killed women.
The game is now going to say everything you just said.
Renju doesn't fit that profile.
Also, young women? Isn't that what she said?
Second, all of the victims had their right eyes removed. But Shoko and Renju...
We're missing their left eye.
And it was... Well, I'll shut up. I already went through this.
The timing of the eye removal is also inconsistent. The original Cyclops Killer removed the eyes after the victims were killed. But Shoko and Renju were both still alive.
I like that there's always a different emotion in these.
It's a really nice way to show visuals of people that you're talking about.
Which is what this game's about, visuals.
Right? I mean, the game's name is Eye, and so here's some eyesight.
But even so, you can't say for sure this isn't our guy. Maybe they're just doing things a little differently now. Or do you have another reason?
If there's a ritualistic aspect to a killing, that's the last thing that a murderer is going to abandon.
Yeah!
The only reason that you would do something like that is if you intend on being a serial killer, and so you can change your MO so people don't associate you with the old ones. But
right. Most serial killers adhere to the ritual because of psychological reasons.
If you don't want one killing to be associated with a previous killing that you did, why are you... There's...
Psychological analysis of serial killers by BSG.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem meaningful to me, so...
Do you have another reason, boss? Pewter?
I'm sorry, Date, I can't say anymore.
This one's about Date.
Bullshit, you can't.
And the way Pewter looked at her, I love this! That they're like actually there and moving around and reacting to what's being said.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a national secret.
Excuse me?
A national secret? In other words, there was a supernatural aspect to it. Because the last thing you want to do is let proof of the supernatural get out. When I say supernatural, it could be anything from Twin Peaks-y stuff.
The owls are not what they seem.
Or something involving, like, psychic powers or something like that. That is what I would immediately think. Because otherwise, why would it be a national secret?
Yeah, I can't think of any other reason.
Also, we know that the supernatural is going to come into this, so...
How can it be a national secret?
Date, please, forget about it.
This is why I jumped to the supernatural thing, because there would be no reason to make something a national level secret if it were not something...
Yeah, that the public couldn't handle.
Right.
I told you already, you don't need to know anything about that case to investigate this one. The criminal for this case and the case 6 years ago are not the same.
You seem really sure about that, though.
So it must be true.
It's probably Date.
And they're pretty darn sure it's not Date now.
Yeah, so Date was possessed by the eyeball and was the original Cyclops Killer.
Aiba, bring up all investigation records of the original Cyclops serial killings.
I already had a look through the database while you were talking.
It has nothing to do with you. Moving on.
Unfortunately, I found no relevant information. I also did not discover anything of note on the internet.
So they must have it, like, in a paper folder hidden away somewhere?
Only amateur theories.
Yeah, info is locked down on this.
All lacking credibility and evidence.
The boss has it in a safe behind her boy band poster.
And even if Aiba found something, she's probably already under strict orders to never say anything about it to Date.
She was programmed by Pewter, after all.
Damn it.
Anything else you can tell me of any worth?
No.
That's all we have for now.
All right.
Special Agent Date, we need you to continue your work.
Well, it's a little hard to trust you when you're being so obtuse with information.
Right. I think I'll head back to where Renju was found. Sunfish Pocket.
Date, you're exhausted.
Yeah.
He's been through a lot of stress, too.
Why don't you get some sleep before you continue your investigation?
So that we can have a convenient Somnium sequence with I.
I'm fine. Let's go, Aiba.
Understood.
Huh. I like the explosions.
Date, the
Um,
vehicle is accelerating 2% slower than usual.
Excuse me. Look in the back seat.
Mizuki, why? That's fine. It's fine. Bringing minors to a crime scene is a staple of the series.
Staple of the
Or
genre.
genre, yeah.
Did you put anything in the trunk?
She's right there.
Aiba, are you asking if I've got junk in my trunk?
Oh.
No?
What about the back seat?
Back seat.
Oh, let's just take a look at the steering wheel. Let's look at the dashboard.
Look at the center console.
Yeah, at the center console, it's still there.
Look at the gear shift.
I can't forget that.
And the glove box.
Did I put anything in there?
You could have put a gold brick in there and it wouldn't slow us down this much.
Oh my god, you guys. Have you seriously not noticed me yet? This is so embarrassing.
Have you checked the back seat?
Oh, right.
Have you checked the back seat? You're the eye on that side of my face.
But I can't just turn around and look while I'm driving.
Aiba, you can like see out of the back of his head.
The rear view mirror is right there.
Just check the rear view mirror.
Oh,
The passenger seat. No one's sitting in it. All right. Hey, wait a second.
Mizuki!
Hey, watch out! Eyes forward, stupid.
Joke's on you. I can have one eye look in a different direction than my normal ones. Mizuki climbed up to the front and sat in the passenger seat.
Why didn't you just do this earlier? Oh, can we look at the gear shift again?
Excellent!
Yes, everything's green!
The center console!
The center console!
The steering
The
wheel!
steering
Date,
wheel!
what would happen if I grabbed the wheel and spun it super hard?
And this is why we do this! But curse you for every single scene. If there's not going to be anything new, shouldn't it not appear in green just to make it
I agree.
sane?
That would be a lot more convenient
We
for
had
us.
to check everything in the boss's office. That took some time. I mean, just a few minutes, but that's a few minutes that we did not have to spend.
We would spend the rest of our very short time together thinking about how stupid that was.
So don't do it.
Hey, Date, why do they call it a dashboard?
Hold on. Let me see. Pun about dashboards.
All I can think about is a cheese board, but that's because I'm hungry.
I got nothing.
Because it makes the car go faster.
Ha 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 ha!
Uh-huh. And why do they call it a tachometer?
Because it makes the car tacky! Alright.
It measures how many tacos worth of revolutions the wheels spin. Because the tortilla is round.
That makes sense.
This sounds suspiciously like a dad explaining things that he doesn't understand to the child.
Dad humor is definitely within his wheelhouse.
No, you think he's telling a joke. I think he is actually performing the, don't ask me why the F the sky is blue, I'll just make something up to satisfy you.
The trees are sneezing.
Obviously.
Hey Date, why do they call it a gear shift?
Because shut up. The glove box set definitely doesn't have a gun in it.
Is this where you keep your weird stuff?
There we are! You missed it last time, but next time you were in the car, you took care of it.
No, but don't look.
Why not?
Damn, is it that obvious?
Oh, it really is?
What are you looking at me for? Watch the road.
Oi!
I always have my head like this when I drive.
You were looking forward before.
No, I was just projecting an illusion. This is the real me.
That's so dumb.
Shutting gun!
You project an illusion when you're by yourself?
Yes.
Your neck doesn't hurt doing that?
No pain, no gain.
Hold on a second. Date is so determined to justify his actions. Billy?
What? Oh, oi! What are you trying to say exactly?
Are you Date? You harbor a desire to destroy everything? You constantly justify all your actions and behaviors even if they don't need it? You're missing your left eye?
What?
And you're suspected of being the Cyclops Killer 6 years ago?
Hold on a minute, I think we've got some misinformation floating around here.
Adults have to make sacrifices. You'll understand when you're older.
I don't think I'll ever understand you.
How did you even get in here?
Door was open.
It wasn't locked, I just opened the door.
Told ya.
I've been here for like 10 minutes.
I'm a very observant person.
Why don't your doors have auto locks?
Oh, come to think of it, he doesn't have peripheral vision either.
And he doesn't have peripheral vision?
I know you like old cars, but you gotta lock the doors.
Who's going to break into a police officer's car?
You should be a little more apologetic for someone who just got caught breaking into my car.
Eventually.
Mizuki does raise a valid point.
Don't you take her side, Aiba!
If you are not more serious about security, you should consider replacing the car altogether.
You too?
Henpecked from both sides. So...
Sir.
You were talking to yourself again. I heard you. It's creepy, you should cut that out.
I love how I mentioned before that she didn't know, but I guess she really doesn't know.
I guess Aiba doesn't pop out and walk around in front of her. I was talking to Aiba out loud before I noticed Mizuki in the
Is
car.
there some reason he has to hide his eye?
I don't see why not, or why he would. That must be what she's referring to.
Mizuki is still unaware I exist?
You're welcome to pop out and show yourself anytime, buddy!
Yeah, I know there's no reason to hide it, since she already knows about Abyss. But it's just hard to explain.
Hey Mizuki, check this out!
The longer you go without explaining, the worse it's going to be.
I won't say anything yet.
Understood. But I am ready to be introduced at any time. Just let me know when the time is right.
Duly noted!
It's not a proposal, no need to be so formal. Shit, I said that out loud.
Date, I think you should go to the hospital.
It's just something adults do. How are you doing?
Well, I can still talk this time.
Clearly.
She's really mean.
Well, I do believe one of her hobbies is picking on Date.
Again, she can be as mean as she wants, but I'm suspecting that she actually is always this mean.
I kind of feel like that too. Date isn't batting an eye at it after all.
Maybe I'm just getting used to it.
Mizuki's psychological wounds have been healed by the sink.
Oh, so she's just being mean on purpose. So, nice weather we're having.
What's wrong with you?
If you have nothing to talk about, you don't have to say anything.
Yeah, Billy.
Fair enough.
You're an adult, shouldn't you know that already? If you start talking about the weather, it means you have nothing to say.
Damn,
She's cold.
what a brat.
Cold as ice.
All right, now to the most salient point. What are you doing here?
I ditched the hospital. They're probably freaking out over there right now.
I'm taking you back.
No, don't! Nothing will change if I stay at the hospital all day.
That's true.
You're going to investigate, right?
She is actively attempting.
She's not wallowing.
Yes.
She wants to do something.
She's trying to understand the situation as best she can, and that's really pretty admirable.
I agree.
And extremely difficult.
Especially since it's her parents' deaths that she's investigating.
Take me with you. I can help.
I mean, this is very Phoenix Wright.
I know.
How is a little runt like you gonna be any help?
You've never played Phoenix Wright.
I'm Renju's daughter. Maybe I'll notice something you don't. Something only his daughter would know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Isn't that exactly what I said about her going to his house?
I don't know.
My daddy was killed. I can't just stay at the hospital.
Fine. But don't say I never did anything for you.
I mean, I did literally dive into your brain to heal your trauma, you know.
And gave her a place to live?
Whatever the circumstances around that are.
You're going to take me along?
Just promise not to interfere with the investigation.
Just stand still in one spot while I look at everything before talking to you. You know the drill by now.
But that's so boring when you do that, and it takes like 30 minutes.
Got it.
A dashboard, the steering wheel, a bench.
I don't even know why I need to ask this question. Do you want to catch the person who killed your parents, little girl?
Billy? What the hell is wrong with you?
I don't know. Send help.
No, it's more like I don't like sitting still and moping all day. I've grown out of my brooding, pretentious teenager phase.
You're 12. You haven't even started it.
Odd thing for a preteen to say.
Are you not aware of Mizuki's mental prowess?
Excuse me?
She is far more developed than her classmates.
I get that she's good at math or something, but...
She is even reading psychology papers by Alfred Adler.
Adler, huh?
Sounds pretentious to me.
I better brush up on Adler then.
So about your father.
Hey, about Renju. Do you have anything to tell me? Anything at all that might help?
Well, it's not about Daddy, but
Anything will help.
I heard from Daddy that Mom had a secret.
Shoko had a secret?
Well, I guess she did. We may not be able to find it now, not without pouring through her home.
I do not know what kind of attention deficit disorder person y'all think Date is, that you have to keep checking with him to make sure he continues the conversation along.
Maybe you want to save her, look at her again.
Don't you bring your logic into this. Reveal Shoko's secret!
I don't know it!
Did you know that Mom was the representative of an investment company?
Yeah, I did.
That whole company was a big scam.
Whoa!
Oh,
Well, her skills were lying and cheating.
A scam?
makes sense.
Well, I don't know the details. They start up a company to get people to invest in it, then shut it down on purpose and keep the money. She got really rich like that.
Shoko did this?
Yep.
By herself?
No, dummy. Of course it was with other people. I saw gangsters there sometimes.
Good lord!
Yakuza.
If she ever got into trouble, she had them take care of it.
I am scanning all known crime databases, but I cannot find any reports referencing this. They must have been extraordinarily careful.
Well, the Yakuza don't mess around.
That actually reminds me. We haven't been through the log in a while. Maybe we should check it and see if we can get any new information from their profiles. Wow, she really does like metal pipe. Okay, I guess there really wasn't anything interesting after all, but there might have been.
You never know. Anyway, I'm glad that you're okay.
I'm not okay.
Well, as okay as you're gonna be for a while.
So, you want to go back to the hospital? I'd be more than happy to drop you off.
That's not what I meant. Why are you always so pushy, Date?
Why are you always so bitchy?
She inherited it from her mother.
I'm not pushy, I'm just worried.
You've got a weird way of showing it.
No, he has a normal way of showing it, and you have a weird way of reacting to it.
Doesn't look like you're worried. You're just weird.
Potato, potato.
You've always got something smart to say, huh? You're just like Renju.
Date.
Ooh.
What about Daddy?
Nothing.
You have no tact, do you? This is why you're single and always will be.
Well, I'm sure the fact that I'm living with a 12-year-old girl who is not related to me by blood also puts a damper on the mood when I invite women over.
That's where you're wrong, kiddo. I look like a single father when you're around. Chicks love it.
Ah, it's all part of strategy.
While he's right about that, it hasn't really worked, though.
Shh.
Yeah, chicks love to see creepy old men hanging out with a 6th grader.
Hey, what are you implying?
Ooh, did I make you mad?
Oh, the face.
Now I'm stuck in a car with an angry old creepy pervert.
I am not an old creepy pervert. And even if you were my age, you're not my type.
Ew, I don't want to know about your type.
Hey, you started it.
Don't open the glove box.
Stupid old man.
I'm not going to engage with this at all.
Punk-ass kid.
Punk-ass kid. Mizuki and I walked back into Sunfish Pocket.
Ah, Detective Date. Good to see you, sir. And this is...
Have you looked through the case file yet?
Don't you recognize exactly who this is, you moron?
Oh, I am so sorry. She's the victim's...
Yes. Please let us through.
Well, the place definitely does feel like a sunfish pocket, whatever that means. All right, how many conversations about counters and chairs are we gonna have?
Let's find out. A chair. I bet you didn't know that.
Dramatic.
Is that a spear?
No, it's a trident, you moron. Get your medieval weapons
It
straight.
more closely resembles a harpoon of sorts.
I say medieval, but it's much older than that.
I believe this is a trident.
You know, like the gum.
Any chance this was used in the murder?
No. There are no traces of blood on the trident, and no indication that Renju was stabbed.
A barrel made of wood. Nothing special about it.
Then
but...
why can we look at it? I mean, the game has trained us to look at this stuff at this point. We have to look at everything. Now it's just trolling us.
I looked inside the wooden box. There's nothing in there.
Then why can we look at it?
This oil drum must be some kind of interior decor, because I seriously doubt they would actually have an oil drum inside.
The capacity of this oil drum is 200 liters.
Now look, it's fine. It's fine that you know that. But why are you telling us this?
It weighs approximately 44 pounds when empty.
Who cares?
Let me check inside.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna leave that alone then.
Okay.
I guess it matters.
The store's menu.
Dragon's Palace Pasta. 1,800 yen. 1,800?
Isn't that pretty average?
This is average?
Jeez, rich girl.
A doorway to the kitchen. I know this because there's a big sign on it that says kitchen. Come on, get in the right beer tap. This serves beer.
I could use a drink.
Perhaps after this is all over, Date.
Isn't it interesting how not only the game, but also us, upon seeing this crime scene, we all just start making jokes about beer taps and kitchen doors?
I believe we've already gone into detail about how this game was made for us.
Are you saying I'm normally engaged with boobs and beer taps?
Well, I didn't want to point it out, but I think we need to have an intervention.
The corpse was strung up near this counter.
Yeah, where was it strung up? Well, I guess near the counter, but...
Well, if you look in the top right, you can see one of the hooks, or
Okay.
rather, the hook.
Yeah, okay.
The autopsy report indicates that the contents of the victim's intestines were excreted upon death.
Details that most certainly realistically happened, but that we don't really want to talk about.
But no traces of that have been found in the area, nor on the corpse itself.
So, just like last time, he was killed elsewhere and then moved here.
Yeah, that's a very disgusting way to come to that conclusion, but such is the nature.
This evidence makes it highly likely that Renju was killed somewhere else. It must have been considerably difficult to carry more than 150 pounds.
What do you mean?
Renju weighed approximately 158 pounds.
For someone who's Japanese, that's practically huge and gigantic. I mean, seriously! Even if you forget all the Americans who are fat, like, we're just denser than Japanese people.
Now who's obsessing about stats?
You got me.
I can estimate a person's weight by analyzing their bone structure, muscle, and fat.
What can't you do? Jesus!
Aiba, can you recall the time we discovered the corpse?
Of course.
I guess you'll be recalling that time later then. He says, "No, I had it!" And then I nudged the other stick and moved it off.
Aiba, did you get anything from the surveillance camera?
Unfortunately, no. All of the recordings from local surveillance equipment have been erased.
Okay.
What about backups?
There are none. Nothing was uploaded to the cloud either.
Rather convenient, I would say.
Well, that just means that the killer took Renju's body here and made sure to erase all the camera data. That means that they're technically proficient and they're not foolish.
Yeah. Let's look at the wall of waifus. There are pictures of girls on display.
Those are the maids who work at the maid cafe. That's the product that they're selling.
How does that make my statement any less true? Probably the girls that are working here, like Damon said.
What are you staring at?
Nothing?
Are you jealous? What does that mean if you say you are?
Creeper.
I agree.
Bah!
Getting henpecked on both sides here. Outside and inside.
While I'm thinking about it, that 101000011110101 under likes?
Uh-huh.
Well, Ho-Hoing Kyoma 1048596 and Calc 84 Maniac went ahead and translated that.
Well, of course, look at the numbers in their names.
Fair point. Anyway, it turned out to be Date.
Aww.
And while we're here, I've pointed out a couple of times that Aiba clearly looks like Boss.
Mm-hmm.
Just a younger version of Boss, but has the same hairstyle.
Mm-hmm.
You see the wings.
The bangs that kind of floof out to the side.
Right, and then the kind of shrimp tail-y piece of bang
At the
that
very
goes
top,
up
yeah.
over her head. And, you know, they're at different angles, so it's not as immediately apparent, but you can normally see it when they talk. I was just thinking about why it is that she just won't tell Date her name. I am willing to bet that her name is Aiba.
But why would she hide it from Date? Because the name of the eye is also Aiba? I mean, I think you're right. I'm just curious what reason she would have to hide it.
Well...
The officer is guarding the doorway. So what's the status?
Nothing special.
Oh, thanks for that great update.
Good talk.
Why could you even talk to him then?
Well, you know, you gotta be social. This club is located on the second floor of the building. We used the elevator to get here.
Aiba, can you check the operation records of this elevator?
Searching. Found it. The elevator records are sent automatically to building management.
Okay, we can actually get something from that.
According to the record from yesterday, from 6:30 p.m. until the body was found, this elevator stopped on the second floor only once. At 8:55 p.m.
8:55 p.m.
I don't know if that's significant, because I don't fully remember everything.
It just seems like it was similar in time to the last one. I mean, the time of death, in the case of Shoko, was around 5 p.m.
Yeah.
But I guess it was found around 8:05. I don't know, I'm probably looking into it too much. It's a similar time. I'm wondering if these are all going to happen around similar times.
The weight of the car's cargo was approximately 310 pounds.
Well, that's 158 from Renju, and then another...
160 from someone else, roughly.
Huh, okay. 152 to be exact. What's interesting is we just had a conversation a couple episodes ago about the weight of another character. We know that Iris, ASAT, weighs 105 pounds.
Right.
Well, the idea that all that was on the elevator was a 158-pound Renju and a 152-pound other person, I don't think that's true.
Well,
what I'm saying
it could have
is...
been other stuff there, too.
Yes, it could have been other stuff.
Like the stuff brought in to string him up, possibly.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So that means the person most definitely weighs less than 152 pounds.
100%, yeah. So the elevator only stopped on the second floor once last night. 8:55 p.m. and with about 310 pounds inside.
They wouldn't be giving us all the numbers for mathing if it weren't relevant, you know.
It's a light that looks like a jellyfish.
Yeah, it's hideous.
I was going to say it's cute.
I mean, it fits the decor, sure, but... I think the decor looks cheap and hideous.
Well, it's probably not a clue in any case.
I mean, look, are the maids over there, are they wearing stuff like Ariel from The Little Mermaid? No, they're maids. It's just everything seems to not add up. Then again, I'm not a maid cafe and entertainment industry magnate like Okiura Renju, so what do I know?
Just because it doesn't have robots doesn't mean you can crap all over it, David.
I don't know if I agree.
Renju's corpse was hung up by 3 wires. The wires were tied to 3 kegs.
Each keg has a capacity of 20 liters.
Okay.
Are we about to do one of those, like, puzzles? Like, you've got 3 containers, and you need to transfer one amount of liquid from one container into another, and you can only put so much in this container. You know what type of puzzle I'm talking about? I can't quite eloquent.
Very possibly so, yes. Here we go. So these beer kegs have 20 liters, and we don't know how much they weigh.
But we do know they weigh 44 pounds when they're empty.
No, the oil drum weighs 44 pounds.
Oh, yeah. That's what you meant.
And has a capacity of 200 liters. We just need to keep this in mind. Now, the idea that the killer was carrying around oil drums and beer kegs is kind of silly. I mean, I guess they could have.
The beer kegs are probably here, and it serves beer.
And the oil drums were probably here.
Maybe. We just assume they're part of the decor.
Okay, well, after we're done with this one, let's go look at the oil drum again.
It was something that we could examine further, after all.
All 3 kegs were filled, in approximately 55 pounds each.
Okay, 55 pounds. I better write this down.
Give us a moment.
Right, so we know there's only one trip on that elevator that was made.
Mm-hmm. It only stopped on the 2nd floor once.
Right, the way you said that was important. It only stopped on the 2nd floor once. We don't know how many other times it moved.
Correct.
In any case, the killer only showed up here one time, and that would have had to have been with the body.
Right.
I'm not trying to immediately throw A-Set under the bus here.
I don't believe you.
But I actually do believe that we need to strongly consider her as the killer. I mean, we'll talk about it more later, I guess, but it seems hard to avoid that conclusion.
Especially in this kind of game, you have to be suspicious of everyone until you can clear them of suspicion.
Right. Well, anyway, we'll talk more about that at a different time. But A-Set weighs 105 pounds. If she's, say, carrying a 44-pound oil drum specifically to mess with our perception of the weight on the elevator as it's automatically recorded, because she would know something like that, because we know she is in fact technically proficient.
Right.
So she might know how the elevator reporting would work, say. Like, that's plausible in any case.
That makes sense.
By carrying extra weight, say a 44-pound drum with a 158-pound Renju in it, the extra weight we come to is 149 pounds with A-Set and the drum and Renju, so like we're missing 3 pounds from what was on the elevator.
Which could be the hook and ropes.
Right. It's feasible. It's feasible.
Or like a dolly to move the oil drum around.
Anyway, the whole point of what we were saying was that one of the oil drums might have been brought here just to...
Yeah.
Like, that would be a way to transport a body. Why was the place closed?
That's a good question. At 8:55 p.m.? Hold on, what day was it? Wasn't it on Sunday?
All right, we've thought enough. Let's move on.
Reveal your secrets! Oh.
Well.
That's a secret.
What?
Why, look! It's Okiura Renju's watch because he was put in an oil drum and moved up the elevator. Weren't we just saying this? Isn't that the only way to interpret that watch?
100%.
There's something inside.
I stepped up to the drum.
This is the oil drum.
This is the kind of oil drum that has a lid, right?
Correct.
As opposed to the ones that don't?
Let's open it.
Well, maybe it has a bung or something. Like a tap. I don't know why you'd have a tap for an oil drum, not like you're gonna serve it as a drink.
We don't want to discriminate against any robot patrons.
Oh, they do have the little fishy thing on, on their frills. All right.
This is...
I like how he opened both of them.
Darn! I was trying to see if he liked watches. You also can't see on his arm there if he's wearing a watch or not. The next time that it pops up on an eyesight...
Actually, look very closely at his left wrist.
Oh my god, you're right.
There's something there that is contrasted against the background. You can always count on my snapshot vision, Damon.
That's right. We got this.
This is the wristwatch Renju always wore.
Alternately, Date will just do that for us.
No doubt about it.
You know, that's right. They do that in this game.
Yeah, you can't forget that this game helps us.
Thank you very much. Oh man, something that I've always loved about Uchikoshi games, every one of them that I've played, which I guess there's like 2 of them I know for sure that I haven't played, but I have played Ever 17 plus the Zero Escapes. Something that I love about Uchikoshi, even if the game isn't the greatest, the characters are smart. Oh, the characters are smart, thank you.
But how did this get here?
Really? No further exploration of that? Oh, he'll put it all together later.
Yeah, not necessary. We got it.
Another inspector with an empty clipboard. Kagami, is that you? I hope he finds some clues.
If it's Kagami, he won't. He just looks at empty things and doesn't mark them on his empty clipboard.
What's your name?
What?
I was asking for your name.
It's Kagami, isn't it?
My name
Yeah!
is Kagami.
Yeah! Yeah! We knew it! Kagami, the clipboard master! The man who stares at the place where he should be looking for clues but can't find them, who has an empty clipboard, and whose name we will never remember.
What was your name again?
It's Kagami.
Run that by me again?
Kagami.
I'm so offended he's kidding. No, I didn't quite catch that.
I told you, it's Kagami.
Oh God, I hope he's in the character encyclopedia.
That would be great.
I don't know. I think Kagami needs to be the new mascot of this game.
I told you my name like 5 times.
All right, Konami, calm down.
More than 5 times, bro. There was the other day at the park too.
I have to. I must. Say what? I, of course, remembered his name. I was just busting his balls. What's your name? His name is engraved in my mind.
How could it not be? He chews me out every time I ask.
And that's why I ask so many times. Oh, what's in the name? His name is... Hi, my name is what? My name is
you.
who?
What's your name?
He's just... he's just trolling.
Seriously? It's Kagami. Stop bugging him, it's rude.
Are we gonna end up having to suspect Kagami of being the killer? Or maybe late in the game, Date is gonna be in trouble and he and whichever combination of assistants he had is all gonna be locked in a room, tied up, and Kagami is gonna run in to save them, and it'll be like, wow, I think I've seen you before. Who are you again?
And then he just leaves them locked up?
Yeah.
Excuse you? My best friend, Kagami and I are having a conversation.
Yeah, don't spoil our fun.
Wow, what a good guy.
What?
We got an achievement! Your name?
Oh God, that was brilliant.
Are you getting enough rest, Kabachi?
No, not these past few days.
I thought so. Once this is over, get some rest, all right?
You too, Detective Date.
We've come to an understanding.
Thanks, Kabuki-cho.
Any leads?
It's Kagami.
No, we didn't find anything today.
Oh, sorry, that was force of habit. You were talking to me, so you know. And of course, he didn't find any leads, just like in Bloom Park.
Oh, that was amazing.
I don't know, he's rapidly becoming my favorite character.
Mizuki is looking at the spot where we found Renju.
Hey, are you doing okay?
Oh, sorry. Just staring.
Understandably, poor kid.
It must have really been helpful for her to yell at Date about Kagami.
If you're having a hard time, you can tell me.
I'm fine. It's not like the body is lying here.
Well, that's true.
Are you really okay?
Yeah, I am.
I don't believe you.
Don't you have an investigation to do? Or are you stalling?
Wouldn't be the first time, won't be the last. You know you can leave if you need to.
I thought I already told you. Sitting around rotting away in that hospital would be worse.
Still.
I know what you're trying to say. For a little girl to find her dad like that and then want to go back to the scene, you think it's totally weird, right?
I kind of think it's admirable, really.
I agree.
In fairness, it is also weird for an adult policeman to acquiesce such a request from a child.
Shut up.
I didn't ask for request. She snuck into my car whose doors I never lock.
But this is what I wanted. I didn't want to run away from it. I wanted to confront it. I didn't want to be weak.
Well, she's gonna have to be strong, especially now that both her parents are dead.
She's doing really good.
Notice anything strange?
You were telling me earlier that you could spot things only a daughter would know.
I know what I said. I'll tell you if I notice anything.
So do you notice anything strange?
Did you hear me? I said I'll tell you if I see anything.
Hey, Mizuki! Mizuki! Did you notice anything strange?
It's Kagami!
Jeez, you're pushy.
Uh-huh.
Pushy men are seen as desperate. This is why no one likes you.
On the contrary, everyone likes Date. Can't you notice?
Besides, Date? Never mind. Just do your investigation or whatever.
What was she gonna say?
Now is not the time to worry about such things.
I know I've said this before. I'm gonna say it again. Voice acting is really good. Normally characters like Mizuki, at least back in the ancient times of my childhood, 5 years ago, like young girls were always voiced really badly. So seeing somebody like this is just fantastic.
Do you remember what you saw last night?
How could I forget? I'll never be able to get that image out of my head. Not until the day I die.
Yeah.
The last place. Let's take a look. Oh.
The time of discovery was 10:20 p.m. You of course already know this, but you and Mizuki were the first to discover Renju's corpse. The body was hanged from the ceiling, similar to how a fish would be. A thick hook was embedded in the upper jaw, and the wires connecting to the hook were strung up on one of the ceiling beams. There was also a hook on the other end of each wire. The 3 beer kegs were attached to these hooks.
That was how he was reeled up to be hanging. What's the cause of death? Because there's no blood.
It looks like the mark around his neck was strangulation.
We have found no fingerprints.
There are deep impressions left on his neck.
Strangulation?
Correct. The face shows clear signs of congestion, along with petechia around the face and throat.
Whatever that is.
Surely it's effects of asphyxiation.
Both are clear evidence of asphyxiation.
Any indication of the murder weapon?
Most likely a twisted piece of cloth. The culprit approached Renju from behind and wrapped the cloth around his neck, choking him in an attempt to suffocate him. The specific cause of death is cerebral circulation failure due to vessel closure in the neck. Put more simply, the suspect strangled Renju to death from behind.
Do we have an estimated TOD?
Yesterday, around 8 p.m.
Okay.
So Renju was murdered about 2 hours before Mizuki and I found the body.
Renju's approximate time of death was yesterday, Saturday, around 8 p.m.
Why would this place have been closed? Well, I don't know what the hours of a maid cafe usually are.
Yeah, I don't know. Are they normally open on the weekend? I would think they would, but business hours are different, you know?
You would think that Saturday at 8 p.m. would be a good time for a maid cafe, but I don't know.
The autopsy report discovered the presence of benzodiazepine. It is a common sedative. The dosage found in the victim's bloodstream was extremely high.
Okay, so he was drugged, then strangled. So it's someone that he would be drinking with.
Or someone he was comfortable drinking around, at least.
Exactly that. Again, it's not like I'm trying to throw A-Set under the bus. She does fit the bill.
It can be assumed that Renju's cognitive functions were heavily impaired before his death.
It also points to someone who has no intentions of attempting to overpower a large man when killing them.
Yeah, which would make sense if you're a teenage girl.
Right.
The right eye is still there,
Of course.
but the left eye has been pulled out.
This case bears similarity to Shoko's.
Indeed.
The left eyeball was removed while the victim was still alive.
I think we've checked everything we need to.
I agree. We should compile our evidence and inferences.
Mizuki, you ready to leave?
What? But we aren't done investigating.
What else is there? You got something?
What do you mean?
There are still people I want to talk to.
Any places you can think of that I don't know about?
Well, there is one place.
Yep.
Have you heard of Golden Yokocho in the entertainment district? Daddy used to go to a place called Marble a lot.
Like we were saying, he was either drinking or with someone he was comfortable drinking around.
Maybe they know something about him.
Do you want to talk to Ota?
Yeah. Oda is in here all the time. He might know something.
Yeah, he
Somehow
does.
I'm not surprised by that.
I remember his like says he does like maid cafes.
I'll call him.
Ota's phone is broken. He dropped it in a puddle.
Sounds like Ota. He's so clumsy.
I love the cheek puff.
We'd have to talk to him in person.
Ah, Billy. You love little girls doing cheek puffs.
Excuse me.
He's probably at Lemniscate or Matsushita Diner.
Logical?
Do you want to talk to Iris?
I darn well would like to talk to Iris.
Because if she's at Lemniscate, we can kill two birds with one stone.
Don't phrase it like
Yeah.
that!
Daddy owned Lemniscate and Iris works for them. She used to work here too.
I bet she did.
So she might know something.
If she did, then she would probably have the knowledge of what's inside the place and all the characteristics of the place.
Such as where to go to remove the camera data.
And what you would find here.
I'll call her.
Well, we're about to change locations, and we've been going on for long enough, so I say we should stop here. But before we go, we should examine the maids. I noticed there is the haughty and disdainful type. I noticed there is the cheerful type. I noticed there is the playful type.
The one behind the police officer looks kind of like the clumsy, bashful type. I can only make that assumption based on her eyebrows going up.
Interesting. Okay, analysis over. BSG out!